Hello all you lovely internet people, what is up? My name is LashofSnow and today we're back with a review slash recap of Game of Thrones Season 6 Episode 2. As with all of these review recap videos, obviously there is spoilers ahead and we delve into maybe theories that if you don't want to know or you're purposely avoiding the episodes until you watch them yourself, please turn off the video now. I thank you for tuning in and I guess I'll see you on Sunday. So our first scene this episode is with Bran. First time we see Bran from season 4, which is a long time, and he seems to have got a lot older very quickly. In no time at all in the season, but nearly 2-3 years in real life. Anyways, we see Bran using his warging abilities with the Three-Eyed Raven while he's back in Winterfell, while Ned, Brandon and Lyanna are all kids and they're all dueling with swords and whatever. And then in comes Lyanna, badass on a horse. And it's the first time we see, I think we ever have really seen Lyanna in the flesh, not just a tomb in the crypt. So it's interesting now that the first time we see Bran, that we warg back to see Lyanna, it could possibly feed into Jon Snow's parentage theory that has been crafted offline. And if, of course, you don't know, don't look at this video, kind of skip ahead a little bit. But it is the R plus L equals J theory. That Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark have Jon, so therefore Jon is a Targaryen. Half Targaryen. Little dragon, little ice, fire and ice, a song of fire and ice. Oof. Another cool little thing about this flashback is we see Hodor as a child. But back then he was called Willis. Or Wallace. I thought that was Willis. And back then he could talk. He was a stable boy named Willis and he could speak. So it'll be interesting to see if through Bran's eyes we see what happened to Hodor and why he only exclaims Hodor now. Maybe we'll see that later on. So I think we're going to get a lot of flashbacks. I know the director said they don't really like to use flashbacks, considering it's a lazy way of storytelling. But through Bran is ever so slightly different because he's a warg, he lives the flashback, if that makes sense. Next we have Jon's first scene in this episode, and it picks up where we left off last week with Sir Alliser Thorne's offer of an amnesty towards the Night's Watch in the room and letting Sir Davos go free. But then we have the cool thing with Davos putting Longclaw, Jon's sword, and getting ready to fight while Sir Alliser's men try to knock down the door. And just at the exact moment you think they're about to break in, boom boom, boom boom, we get a knock on the gate and you think, what the fuck is that? In busts Dolores Ed with the wildlings and 1-1, the massive fucking giant. And it's awesome because they're all like, what the hell? So they all came based on Dolores Ed's recounting of Jon being killed, and they thought, right, go there, help them out. And there is one cool thing. 1-1 the funny aspect of this scene is 1-1 grabs a Night's Watch guy and just batters him off a wall and throws him across the street. Excellent. That was hilarious. Jumping to King's Landing to see the story through Cersei's eyes, and the first time we properly come face to face in a sense with Robert Strong, or the Zombie Mountain. I think Robert Strong is what he's known as in the books, but it's the demented, zombified mountain that I can't remember the maester's name, but he kept alive for Cersei to turn him into some fucking Hulk. We see him. It was such a random scene. There's a little guy taking a piss after mouthing off about being with Cersei, and Robert Strong just comes up, grabs his head, smash off a wall, end of guy, and then just walks away. Jump to Tyrion and the King Tommen, his illegitimate son, in the Red Keep, not the Red Keep, in Sept Baelor, at Myrcella's funeral, which he didn't allow Cersei to attend because he was afraid that something else would happen to her. But they converse about that, and Jaime decides go explain to your mother why and go see her and blah blah blah. Then Jamie and High Sparrow have a little tiff, and back and forward, little threats, to which then High Sparrow exclaims, "Together we can overthrow an empire," which is, to me, a direct threat to the Lannisters in power, which is kind of cool because now the Lannisters have a little war brewing at home in King's Landing, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Then we move to Meereen to visit Tyrion once again, and so far this has been Tyrion's best scene. I know we're only in episode 2, but he wanders down into the lair of Viserion and Rhaegal, the two dragons that Daenerys had left chained up, to unshackle them, to let them kind of be free, so they can feed and grow bigger, or else they would get stuck in there and be like little dogs. Well, not dogs, but dogs are tiny compared to dragons. But as he slowly unshackles them, he tells stories about wanting a dragon as a child, and being told there was never any dragons anymore in the world, and that they would never have one, and he's currently in front of two giant fucking dragons in front of him. As we have a little scene where he gently touches them, and they don't react, they don't get angry, they don't hiss at him, which to me adds fuel to the fire that Tyrion might not be a full Lannister. There is a theory that the Mad King raped Lord Tywin's wife. Tyrion may be a bastard son of the Mad King, which would be pretty awesome because, again, there's another theory that 3 dragons on the Targaryen sigil are Daenerys, Tyrion, and Jon. So it's slowly kind of pushing that, I think. I have a feeling that that may be where it goes. But he unshackles them, they kind of disappear into the darkness. He walks up the step to meet Varys, to which he says, "If I ever get an idea like that again, punch me in the face." Jumping from Meereen to the Bravos, we have a little short scene with Arya. She's in the streets begging again. In comes a waif. Bango bango, let's have a little scrap with the sticks. To which Arya gets very frustrated and just starts swinging. The waif disappears. And then Jaqen appears. Jaqen questions her as to who she is, where's she from, blah 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 blah. To which she keeps replying, "A girl has no name." To which Jaqen says, "Follow me." So it seems now she's not living on the streets anymore, that she will now live in the House of Black and Gold, or Black and White, Black and Gold, Black and White with Jaqen, and she has passed this little bit of her training. Moving north to Winterfell, to a scene with Ramsay and Roose. Ramsay's mouthing off about attacking the wall, because they know that Sansa is going to go north to the wall to Jon because they still think he's alive, because this has all happened in such a small period of time. As they're discussing this, Roose's wife, Lady Walder, gives birth to a boy, which unsettles Ramsay, because now Roose has a direct blood link to his heirdom, his throne, while Ramsay's just an illegitimate bastard. Although he has been legitimized now, but he's still a bastard. So a fool son should come before a bastard. And they all congratulate each other and are like, ha ha ha, ha ha. Then we get the biggest shock in my view of this episode. Ramsay knifes Roose. Yep. In a very similar way to Roose killing or finishing off Robb Stark at the Red Wedding, he conveniently gets a blade in the same area. Down he goes. It's like, the fuck? Roose is now dead, so Ramsay is now in control of the North. So what do you think happens next? Ramsay then lures Lady Walder and her newborn son to the kennels, saying that Roose is in here, to which behind him he locks the gates. He opens the gates of the hounds. This is quite a nasty scene. You don't see anything, you just think it's implied, but we know what's implied. He basically whistles, and the dogs come out and they jump on them. So now we can assume Roose is dead. The newborn baby, who was only born probably like half an hour before that, is dead, and Lady Walder is dead. So now Ramsay has complete control of the North. Speaking of Sansa, Sansa has a little short scene this episode. They are still in the woods around Winterfell, talking to Brienne, and her and Brienne are talking about Arya. The last time that Brienne seen Arya, and she looked like a little boy, to which Sansa thinks, well, that's no different because that was her anyway. Then Theon decides that he doesn't want to go to the Wall, he doesn't want to go to Jon, he doesn't want to join the Black because he doesn't think he deserves it because of all the crimes he committed against the Starks. Burning the farm boys, saying that they were Bran and Rickon, betraying Robb, executing Sir Roderick, taking Winterfell, doing a lot of things that pissed off the Starks and was really dickish of him in a way. But he feels that he's not worthy to do that, and he doesn't want anybody to kind of help him or anything. So he decides he's going to go home. It scares me a little bit because there is a preview for episode 3, and we see, I suppose you might call him Lord Ramsay now, because he is the Lord of fucking North now. There's a scene in the preview where somebody says, "Oh, Lord Ramsay, we brought you a present," and Ramsay's face lights up. I am just scared in the sense that on Theon's way home, he was captured by the Boltons, or bannermen loyal to them, and he was brought back to Winterfell. If that happens, I don't know how to think, but if it doesn't happen, if it's not, and Theon gets back to the Iron Islands, excellent. But if he gets captured, I think that's the end of Theon. Enter the Greyjoys. We move from Winterfell Forest to the Iron Islands, to Pike, and we meet Euron Greyjoy, Theon's uncle and Balon's brother. Balon and Yara have a little back and forward. Then Balon decides to go somewhere and he has to walk across this little rope bridge. Now, book readers would have noticed straight away the rope bridge has significance because in the books that's where Balon dies, on a rope bridge, because either, I can't remember exactly, but something kills him or the wind blows him off, and then it leads to this whole thing called a King's Moot, which is basically to elect the next ruler of the Iron Islands. So how they showed on it was by introducing everybody to Euron Greyjoy, which was Balon's brother, and they have this weird back and forth that leads Euron to exclaim that he is the storm of all storms and he is the drowned god himself. He seems a bit more unhinged in the TV show. In the books he was an adventurer who was going to go east to take Daenerys and marry her and bring her back and be the king of Westeros and all this. That was kind of funny because he was always away in the far off seas, adventuring and plundering, but now he's back here and in the show he seems a bit unhinged, leading to a little scuffle where obviously Euron knocks Balon and away he goes. Bye bye Balon. Second big death. Fact. The funeral scene that they send Balon off into the sea, the surrounding areas, all those white cliffs, is shot in Northern Ireland in a place called the Larryben Headlands. We were there in a previous vlog. If you go check it out, you can see them, see the scenery and things. It's awesome. It's just down a little bit from where we were, but hey, Northern Ireland. And then we end the episode again with Jon at the wall. There's a discussion between Melisandre and Davos as to if she can bring people back from the dead, she can resurrect Jon. She says no, she can't, to which Davos saying, well, have you tried? Which then leads to Melisandre decked out in all her red priestess gear, tries to ritually raise Jon from the dead by trimming him, cleaning all his wounds, cutting his hair, burning it in the fire, and chanting all these little sentences in a foreign language, trying to instill life back into him. But after a while nothing really happens, and Tormund is the first guy to leave the room, then Dolores leaves, then Melisandre leaves, and it leaves Davos. He wanders over, has a look at Jon, and then leaves. They're all disappointed because it didn't work, obviously, or did it? Because then as the camera kind of pans away from Jon, we look at Ghost, and Ghost's just out because he's having a nap. Then he slightly wakes up and he looks at Jon, to which the camera pans over Jon's head, and back to life. So everybody got in episode 2 what they have been waiting on for a whole year. Jon Snow seems to be back alive now. In my opinion, it seemed to happen too quick. I know they wouldn't have wanted to drag it on too long, because then it's wasting time. Doesn't give it any other story after he comes back to progress. But I am quite surprised he came back so soon. Maybe next episode, but there we go. Set up for episode 3 for him to kind of raise from the dead and be a godlike figure. So there you go. If you were waiting for Jon Snow to resurrect and come back to life, you now have it. So in this episode we had 2 big deaths and 1 resurrection. Jon got resurrected, Roose Bolton and Balon Greyjoy are now dead. So take them guys off your list. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Comment below if you think this video was better at a shorter time and kind of more to the point, or if you wanted an extended one like last week's. Don't forget you can watch the previous episode by clicking somewhere here. I imagine I'll try and put it here somewhere on Jon. And also if you want to see that vlog that I talked about where we tour the scenes and the sites of Game of Thrones in Northern Ireland, click somewhere here I'd imagine. Anyways, until Sunday, I will see you lovely people again. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will say bye-bye. And now Jon will say bye-bye now too, because he is alive.